Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this special meeting of December 30th, 2025. This is a financial information meeting. As always, give me 1 second. As always, I'd like to acknowledge that we're gathered here today on Treaty 5 territory. So that's the homeland of many Indigenous people, as well as the homeland of the Manitoba Red River Métis. With that, just like to wish everybody, hope everybody had a good Christmas and lots of good stuff, and a Happy New Year. And we will get started by calling the meeting to order. Somebody should have a resolution to adopt the agenda.
Resolution number 2025-227, moved by myself, second by Councillor Manich, resolved that the agenda be adopted as presented.
I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Just a note, Councillor Forster and Councillor Hopper both sent regrets. Councillor Hopper mentioned that he could be called in if needed. And Councillor Allen is just leaving work and he's on his way, so he'll be a few minutes late. So the purpose of this meeting is to actually review some preliminary review of some year-end financial information. It's not the final, but I'll sort of pass it over to our CAO or to our controller, who will just sort of highlight this. So I'll leave it to you right now. Laura.
Thank you. Okay, so we've done a quick analysis of the financial statements. And again, it is preliminary. Not all the adjustments are in. There's going to be accounts payable flowing in February. There'll be some year-end adjustments that are done. However, there's a few things that need to be addressed before the end of the year, and that's what we're going to discuss today as per issue sheet. Now, in accordance with section 169, council can transfer revenue in excess of estimates and expenditures that don't affect the total amounts estimated under subsection 164(1) of the operating budget or section 166 of the capital budget. So those are things we'll address today. Okay, so I just wanted to highlight that under the general operating income statement, which has all of our departments flowing into it, pardon me, that currently, if you look at the bottom, we're sitting at a $1.147 million surplus. And some of those items are because of revenues that we've received over than what we've budgeted for, which I've outlined in the issue sheet. And we'll go through today. So the fire retainer fees, there's an additional $30,000 over budget. And this is because when we were finalizing the budget, the arm of Kelsey agreement was not finalized and signed, so that was unknown and wasn't budgeted for.
Just one quick, just wanted some clarification, just so people, when you're talking about over budget, these are more revenues than we had planned for. So correct. They're not an expense, it's just correct. A positive.
Our fire response fees were also over budget by $393,000, and that was due to the response fees for the wildfires this year. Now I've subtracted the over expenditure of volunteer wages, of course, because that is also attributed to the wildfires. So the total amount that I'm proposing be transferred to the fire department reserve is $353,695.94. If you actually look at the fire department statement, you can actually see the details here and how this is broken down. If you can see it on the screen. So you can see the 30,000 over budget here. And the 393,000 over budget here. I'm not sure if you guys can see that on the screen. And there's our wages.
Mhm.
Most other accounts are trailing relatively on budget or will be by the time our accounts payables are posted and the year-end entries are accounted for. For this scrap metal sales, we received an additional $35,764,000. And I'm proposing this goes to the landfill reserve. This was just additional sales over what was budgeted for. This varies every year. It depends on what's been brought into the landfill. For the cemetery reserve, we're proposing an additional $31,042 to be sent to the cemetery reserve. Again, this is just amounts that we've received over what we budgeted for in the various graves that were done and.
Yep.
For the Rita Reserve, we have again the RM Kelsey grant. That wasn't finalized when we were doing the budget, so there's an additional 34,500 there. And we had additional arena admission gates and ice rental. From different various events, whether it be rentals or parties.
Mhm.
So the total amount that we're proposing goes to the arena reserve is $56,846.62. And for the wellness center, again, we have the Arvin Kelsey grant and our drop-in fees were increased this year by 11,000. So total amount proposed going to the wellness center is 28,156.63. And then we have the two capital projects that we spoke about previously in one of our meetings that will have to roll over to the reserves as well.
Yeah.
Those were amounts that we did put in for the mill rate into the taxes in 2025, and those projects are being deferred to 2026. So I did provide all the financial statements for you guys to look at, just as they're sitting right now. Again, very preliminary. Year-end entries are not completed, accounts payables are not collected. There's gonna be some stuff that flows in over the next month or two. But I'm not sure if anyone has any questions about the amounts we're proposing to transfer to reserves at this time.
Everybody good? Yeah, so I just wanna get a little bit of recognition too, though, just to close up, Laura, I mean. Some positive highlights here, with regards to increased revenues. And, you know, unfortunately, we've seen that through the wildfire season that we had. We've already, this council's already transferred the excess, sales of fuel, in December, our last meeting, to the airport revenue, or to the airport reserve. But also the good work that staff's done, on, you know, getting our agreements up to date and where they should be and, you know, doing it. I also, like we said, we've got some good cost controls, in place in certain areas that, you know, I think will help us tighten up our budget for 2026 and making sure, because I know this council and our administration doesn't want to, you know, budget any more money than we actually need to operate, so that's good. And then there's those few deferred projects in 2026, so I think this is good. This is in a good financial position to continue to move the community in the right direction. So with that, if there's no questions for Laura, I know Laura, you did mention just for everybody in viewing land that this is a little bit preliminary still. You'll see. You know, one point of note I picked up was the RCMP cost coming in at $3.5 million when we've only planned to be at 3.2. But that's really based on the fact that we're based on estimates and so we hope that that'll be lower. And in late January, early February, staff will plan on doing a full presentation once the numbers are firmed up and be able to explain those variances again, so that we can just have a tighter budget in 2026.
And all that stuff will also be dealt with when we start having our budget meetings.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so with that, somebody should have a resolution to move as recommended by Laura, the amount to our reserves.
Resolution number 2025-228 moved by myself, second by Counselor Manich, where section 169 allows council to transfer revenue exceeding estimates and expenditures that do not affect the total of the amounts estimated under subsection 1641 operating budget and section 166 capital budget. And whereas the controller has recommended excess amounts be transferred to reserves. Therefore, be it resolved, the council approve the transfer of 800,430.18 from operations to reserve accounts as listed below. Fire equipment reserve 353,695.94. Landfill reserve 35,764.13. Cemetery reserve 31,042.86. Arena Red Reserve 56,846.62. Wellness Center Reserve 28,156.63. Airport Reserve 100,000 and Sam Waller Museum $194,924.
Perfect. Any further questions? Seeing none, call the question, all in favor? Opposed? None carried. Motion to adjourn? Okay. Adjourn. Welcome, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Like I said, great job by our staff. Wishing, on behalf of council, wishing everybody a very happy and safe New Year's. You remember there's Operation Red Nose out there if you're out there celebrating. If you don't use those and you're still celebrating, make sure you call out, reach out for family, friends, and be safe. Enjoy the rest of your day.